Good. Okay. Thank you. Welcome everyone to a zoning bylaw amendment meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order. In your package, there's I need a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda. Renee and Dean. All those in favor? Any disclosure of pecuniary interests? Seeing none. So this evening is a public hearing scheduled for one zoning bylaw amendment. The Planning Act requires that a public hearing be held before council decides whether or not to pass a zoning bylaw amendment. The public hearing serves two purposes. First, to present to council and the public the details and background to a proposed rezoning. And second, to receive comments from the public and agencies before council makes a decision. Monsieur Dumont will provide a summary of the applications. From there, the applicant will be requested to make a presentation virtually, followed by questions from the public, either in favor or against the proposal. Council will then have the opportunity to question the applicant, the Director of Planning, or anyone giving a presentation. The zoning bylaw amendment will then be considered by council later this evening. Monsieur Dumont, would you please advise how the public notice was provided?
So notice of public hearing was posted in the municipal office and was sent by mail to the assessed owners within 120 meters of the property subject for the proposed zoning bylaw amendment application this evening. And to those persons and agencies likely to have an interest on the application. Now, the notices were sent on May 25th, 2023, being over 20 days prior to this evening's meeting. Included with the notice was an explanation of the purpose and effect of the proposed zoning bylaw amendment application and a key map showing the location of the site.
I now declare this portion of the hearing to be a public hearing to deal with application number ZBA 23-0FFR. Régent Quesnel. Monsieur Dumont, will you please summarize the purpose and effect of the proposed zoning bylaw amendment and provide any additional information and correspondence relevant to this application?
Thank you. This evening, we're here to deal with a land use matter. So to give you a little bit of context, on June 8th, which was almost 2 weeks ago, the Sudbury East Planning Board held a public meeting for a severance application, and the planning board had supported the severance. So that's the background information with respect to the severance. And so the intent of the severance on June 8th was to create a lot that was approximately 2.07 hectares in lot area, with a lot frontage of approximately just over 205 meters, and is presently vacant. And the owner of the property is keeping approximately 20 hectares of land with a lot frontage of approximately 400 meters and contains a dwelling with an existing shed. So that was the context of the severance. As a result of the support from the planning board, one of the conditions of approval is to have the land use changed for the severed lot specifically. And the reason for that is the retained lot will maintain the current rural zone, which requires a minimum 5 hectares and a minimum 100 meters of frontage. As you know, this lot is no longer meets, the severed lot no longer meets the rural requirements and is now going to be rezoned to residential rural. There will be no special provisions. It's just a normal residential rural zone, which will speak to just allow somebody to build an estate home if they choose to on the subject property. Now, with respect to agency comments, the municipality of French River advised again through the severance process. This doesn't have any impact tonight on the zoning specifically, that they had no concerns in relation to the application. Now, for the severance, there's conditions, and those conditions that were imposed were municipal drains, parkland dedication, and the possibility of road transfers. Again, other agency comments for the severance particularly was supportability from the Sudbury District Health Unit. And we also had no concerns from Hydro One. And in terms of the public, we did not receive any phone calls or any emails in objection or having concerns with respect to this proposal this evening. So with that said, the application this evening conforms to the official plan for the Sudbury East Planning Board, as well as the zoning bylaw for the municipality of French River, and can be supported from a planning perspective.
Thank you. I don't see the applicant. There's no applicant. Are there any questions from members of the public? None that we received. Okay, any questions from council? All right. If there's no further questions, then I declare this public hearing to be concluded. And it is now in order for a council member to make a motion and for council to consider the application. So I need a mover and a seconder, Roger and Bob.
It is duly moved and seconded. Be it resolved that bylaw 2023-40, being a bylaw to amend zoning bylaw 2014-23 as amended, Jean Canel, be read at first, second, and third time and finally passed.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. I then now declare this public hearing to be concluded. Please be advised that there is a 20-day appeal period during which time any person or public body may, no later than 20 days after the day that the giving of the written notice as required by section 3418 of the Planning Act is completed, appeal to the local planning appeal tribunal by filing with the clerk of the municipality a notice of appeal setting out the objections to the bylaw and the reasons in support of the objection, accompanied by a fee prescribed under the local planning appeal tribunal. During this appeal period, no building permit may be issued or other work commenced. I need a motion to adjourn. Moved by Renee and Dean. All those in favor? Thank you.